Welcome back, everyone, to ACES53 with Ed Parcaut and myself. And as you know, today is a Thursday, and we did promise you earlier in this week that we were going to have a guest, but unfortunately, our guest had a family issue, so they are not going to be here today. So you're stuck with Ed and I once again, but that's okay.
Not that horrible thing.
But so as you know, our guest was going to come in. We left off with talking about what's important about sharing your message. How do you craft your message? What do you have out there on social media? What do you have on your website? And so one of the things that several of the conferences I've been to lately is everybody knows, oh, ask Chat GPT all these questions, but it's what can you do with Chat GPT beyond that? So you can go out and, you only have so many characters for Instagram, social media, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. But you can say, this is what I want, make it fit those number of characters so you have a consistent message across all your platforms. And that's not a way that a lot of people think about it is, what can you use ChatGPT for on all your existing stuff? So I recently went through a website rebrand, and that's what I did is I took my old postings. I'm like, okay, make it more persuasive, make it easier to understand, trim it down, make it longer. There's a lot of editing and recreation that can be done with ChatGPT versus a lot of people just go, I want ChatGPT to create everything. Instead, it can help you refine things.
I totally agree because I did that over a year ago, and I'm not bragging. I'm just stating. But I mean, even for myself, recently I was doing some other stuff, and I've always said you're limited by what you ask it. Yes. You are limited by what you actually can come up with and ask it. Because I had to do so much stuff recently that was shocking. I asked it how to do a certain thing and give me specifics on how to upload it, how to do certain things, and it broke it all down for me so I could actually do it.
Right.
And that's huge because that's knowledge that you would normally have to go search for yourself that it's giving you automatically when you ask.
And that's the whole thing. You already have content out there, so you can literally just go copy paste off your website and say,
about making it better. Yes.
Yeah. How can I make this better? How can I make this easier to read? How can I make this more persuasive? I was at an event recently where somebody was talking about their AI chatbots, and they said, how can I make my presentation more Gen Z friendly? And so again, it's back to the questions. And I was actually talking with somebody yesterday that went and looked on there like, hey, how can I grow my Instagram? And I went and looked, I'm like, this is a boring AF like tagline. And why do you have it there? And in their mind, it made sense. But when I read it, it would not make me want to click on them to go any further with it. And so that was the suggestion is go put it in Chat GPT. How do you make it sound better? Because it was a very high level of like, well, I help you get more clients. And I'm like, but that's too vague.
Yeah, totally.
It's
how
I help you find the ideal client. So if you say the ideal client, well, there's people who have clients they want to get rid of, and there's people who want clients, period. Then you're attracting two different audiences. But it's funny because we all have the forest for the trees where we think our message is clear, but we need a third party to do it. And the third party can be Chat GPT or any other AI product once you put those parameters around it. And he went in, he changed his tagline. Now it makes you want to click on it. But originally it was just kind of a generic statement. It absolutely is what he helps people do, but it wasn't sexy. And now it's sexier thanks to, a second set of eyes or going in and using some type of AI to say, how could I say it differently?
Well, what's nice about using this is you can actually have a copywriter for nothing, for $20 a month.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with, but what you might want to do is make sure you know how to do your prompts and do that right. And because a lot of people don't. So I have, before I send any text out, I have it sweeten it up because I'm direct. And so I drop it into the thing. I said, rewrite my text, copy, paste, send it. Before I send any email, I have it relook at it. Yes, I take out the line. Oh, how are you doing? I hope to find you well. There's certain things you don't put in there from Chat GPT.
Yeah. Well, I'm due for an upgrade on my iPhone, and I'll tell you the pros and cons is I need a new iPhone because I obviously want the better camera and more storage. But then it was like, ooh, but there's AI on the phone. And then I was sitting there thinking, well, that just is one less step. But it will be
the new software. I have.
What's that?
I updated to the new software. It automatically is there.
Oh, is it there automatically? I thought you had to have the new 16 for it to work properly.
I think it will work if you have certain, newer phones.
Yeah. Mine's a 13.
It's not going to be 100%. Yeah. It's not going to be 100%, but yeah, I think
I'm mainly going for the camera. But it will be interesting to see how it goes in and tries to change it. I'm still fumbling with Instagram because I'll go to try to type somebody a message. I'm like, damn, what's their name? I go to search, and instead of searching through my messages, the Instagram AI is trying to search for every person with that name. So there's some places I wish they would turn that feature off, and inbox is one of them. But it'll be very, very interesting to see how people start adjusting when they use AI on their phones, not just on their laptops. And yes, you can get a mobile version for your tablet and your phone, but I'm talking about actually in your text messages. Every time you're on Instagram, now we're using AI so regularly, it's going to be interesting to see where people go with it.
Well, and then remember that if it's helping you with your text, it's keeping your information somewhere.
Yes. And I was thinking about this earlier too.
So if you don't like that, go back to the flip phone.
Exactly. With text messaging, people have gotten lazy about even spelling right because predictive texting will go, oh, you need to fix this word, you need to fix that word. And I realize how lazy I've gotten about spelling the word perfectly anymore, because if it's close and I'm in a hurry, it auto fixes it.
Right.
Versus,
I like talking to mine now. You know,
do you
hit the mic and just talk my text.
Oh, see, I'll do audio text, but I haven't done the talk my text. I know Janine and several other people, that's their main way of communicating.
Yeah, I just talked, you know, because in the car sometimes I can't type, so I just hit the little microphone and just do it. And 9 times out of 10 it works, but that 10th time is horrible.
This is true.
Like the other day, somebody said they connected me with somebody else because I was doing over the edge where I went down the side of that building last weekend.
Right.
And they're like, if you know any of our stuff here with AI, my last name is always Parcaut or Parko or Barko. And the guy goes, Ed, and it was Parcaut, blah, 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 blah. And I just said, oh, and she thought it was a new person. I go, no, I'm already on there. It's really Ed Parcaut. And I spelled it out. The problem is Jeremiah used talk to text and it used my name and didn't check it.
I noticed, and again, it's human eyes, and this is why you have to double check and edit what's created by Chat GPT or any type of AI. So I was using Opus Clips the other day, and I did it from a talk, and had Brad Lee in it. Well, that's Brad space LEA, but AI doesn't know that, so it's like Bradley, BRADLEY, and so you have to go back and fix those things. And what was the other one that it corrected that made me laugh?
I had one that was supposed to be Tom, and it did Tim. And I didn't catch it until after I posted it.
I think I was trying to say verses, and it picked up like venomous or something. I'm like, okay, well, that's not right. And I didn't catch it till I was already done editing. I'm like, I already have the B-roll in here. I don't want to go back because I do Opus Clips first, and I add in B-roll with CapCut. And I didn't want to go back and fix Opus and reattach all the photos, so I went with venomous instead. And I'm like, hey, let's see if they catch it.
You're like, I hope this ggets viral because someone got venomous. You know exactly. You're trying to, and it's like, oh no, you just didn't do anything.
Well, and there's a selfish side. Like I was actually working on an Opus Clip right before we started today, and in there I said bullshit twice. But if you post that to Instagram, then that one can't monetize. And so now I know I'm going to go in, edit out that clip.
Because you cussed?
What's that?
Because you cussed?
Yep.
Really?
Yep. And so it'll flag you in your video, and it'll say this video can't be monetized. So I know for sure if you say shit, it will. Bullshit, I don't know, but I'll have to go back and look. But I've been going in now and either deleting out that one section or going into CapCut and making it go beep really loud, because what if that one goes viral? I still want to get paid on that one. So yeah, there's been a few. I'll have to go and look and see what it was, but it was always cuss words that previously said this video is not able to be monetized.
Because last week on the radio, I was talking about something and it got really, and I guess I said bullshit.
Yeah.
And then my producer's like, dude, you can't cuss. I'm like, I cussed?
Let's just say.
And then he played it back. I go, oh, okay, I guess so. BS. Right. Say BS. There you go. Yeah.
Well, I remember as a kid, now we're just kind of going to go off in a whole other direction from it. But when crap was a big word, like it was, oh my gosh, they said crap on TV. And now TV's like got topless people and you name it, and cussing is just kind of mainstream.
Well, it's like the word fart.
Yeah.
You can never say that.
No, never before. You could pass gas.
Yeah, you can. That was like don't say that. Yeah. You know, just like, this stuff that we've gotten used to. And I didn't know that about Instagram. That would tell why most of my stuff doesn't go viral or go anywhere.
It can still go viral, but it won't let you monetize it, and it'll tell you that it's a violation of the policy or whatever.
Oh, and be careful with your accounts on there, because
Mm-hmm.
I just got hit for over $1,000 on Facebook ads that I don't have going.
Really?
Yeah, so that's like and once I was talking to Ralph about it this week at one of our board meetings, he goes, "Yeah, I just got hit with 600 for Google ads, and I don't have any Google ads." And so he, same thing as me. I just went in and said, "This is fraud. I didn't do this," because I went in and checked all my ads, and so if anybody's watching this and knows where I need to go look, if there's someplace I need to go that somebody's running an ad, because I know there's some people who wanted to help you out on your account, and I think they're gonna charge you somehow, and they're getting the money through there. So just be careful.
Yeah, but you would think they would have to have your login and your credentials.
I know, but some people might have given it somehow.
That's true.
You
Or
doing
hacked
those
their way
things,
in.
who knows? And so I looked through all and I couldn't find a single thing being promoted, a single thing doing anything. And so I just told my bank they're all fraud for now till I figure it out. It was one way to figure it out, because it's like, if I can't find it, the only way to figure it out is to cancel that card and get them to contact me.
I would go to your Meta dashboard and go take a look. But
I have.
Okay. Well, anyway, we'll come back to this one since we're going to keep it short and sweet today. But yeah, if not, we'll go down too many rabbit holes.
That's right. Well, I'm just saying, be careful out there, because people are somehow any way they can, because your card's connected to that account, so it's automatically going to go through without check.
I had that happen. Actually, Citi caught it, and it was somebody who was trying to charge GoDaddy. And I'm happy that those companies caught it, because you're right, it can go through. There was one I was paying Google ads, and it was like $500 a month. I'm like, I don't even remember that, but it wasn't showing up. And so I apparently was guilty of the same thing that happened to you.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to find it, and this was the easiest way for me to have somebody reach out and bitch about it, because your card doesn't go through. Well, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and after a while, you need to change your card anyway, because it gets out there so much.
Oh, that's I signed up for. Originally, it was, what was it originally? Freecreditreport.com. Now it's been bought by several different ones, but we're not financial advisors. We're not attorneys. Go do your own research. But adding things in like Rocket. So I use Rocket, the app, and it'll tell you like what all subscriptions do you have. And the nice thing about it is it will let you unsubscribe through the Rocket app. But it's good to know you add all your credit cards to it, and then it'll ask you like every 3 months, do you want to review what's being billed to your card every month? And are you still using it? So there are ways to go out there that you can look even proactively before something like what you run across and just go, am I paying for crap I don't use? Because we're all guilty of it. Right. I've got so many freaking Apple TV apps that, one time I had to have Paramount and this, that, and I don't watch them, but it's not painful because it's like $9 a month. But it adds up when you have a bunch of those.
That's like Prime. People sign up and then they forget. And you go in there and see all the subscriptions that you have on Prime to get rid of them to save money. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like anything else. Do an audit once a year, what you're doing. But I like the Rocket app because I can open it up. It tells me, hey, you got money, or hey, you spent this much this month. And it's nice little reminders. But going back to the other part of what we're talking about today is use Chat GPT or your version of AI that you like to look and say, how can I spin my message better? How does it, how can I make it that it looked great to me, but have other people look at your website, have other people read it, be like, hey, would you want to work with me if you read this? Because we're all guilty of the golden turd, which is we think it's perfect and we shouldn't change it. And you and I have talked about this on this podcast before. That's why you have to put something out there to see, you think it's a good idea, but do people follow you? Does it resonate with other people? And if not, do you need to change it?
Yeah, I think because we need to find your perfect client. You need to know who they are. And for us, people are still afraid. This is what I'm running into constantly, even to this day. People are still afraid to go too niche because they're worried they're going to lose business. No, that's how you make businesses, knowing who your perfect client is. And remember, I'm working on that podcast Dean course, and it's come up again because I've canceled multiple podcasts with people who come on with horrible mics.
Right.
And I just recently did again this week. And the guy's like, he had the one, hold on, just like this one, which is the blue, the blue that everybody gets told, go get this mic. It's a great mic. I don't
First
know
one I had.
how much money are they making off of this, because it's a great condenser mic if that's what you want, but a dynamic mic.
Well,
And he
it's
had
a
that,
step
and
up,
huh?
right? It's a step up because most people think my laptop's good enough. So the Yeti was a step up from your laptop, but if you're going to spend that money, spend the extra money.
Right. And so I put together like equipment lists for my podcast course.
Mhm.
And this guy's like, well, what should I get? I go, well, he goes, I like your sound of your mic and blah, blah, blah. I said, I'll send you the list because I'm doing a
Mhm.
course. And he was like, all about, I'll take any help I want. And then it just dawned on me that he would be the perfect client for my podcast. Somebody who wants to get in, my course, who
Mhm.
wants to get in and learn stuff, but learn it faster than what I learned it.
Yes.
Right. That's what you're paying for when you buy the course,
Mhm.
is that you're paying $99 to get into it and read it the whole way through and done with it so much faster than to spend 2 years on figuring out what you need.
Going a different vein, but on a similar concept, I loved the brick background that I have. I'm like, it looks cool and everything else. What I didn't realize is the camera couldn't keep up. It was trying to focus on all the little mortar in between the bricks. And so every podcast I did for the longest period of time, I was blurry. And so people don't want a blurry guest. And so then they don't invite you back. And since I've changed backgrounds, I'm no longer blurry. So it's a combination of things. It's get the right gear, but then play of how do you perfect it over time? Because I thought it was my upload speeds until you're the one who pointed out I was at hotels and it was working fine. I wasn't getting blurred out. So that only took out two things: the Avaya camera that I'm using right here, or it was my background. And it turned out to be it was my background there was too much detail on the bricks that the camera's trying to keep that all in place and blurring me out in the process.
Well, it probably couldn't do the depth difference between
Right.
it. And that's what the problem. It was too, like, now your wall looks like rock, so it has a depth
Yeah.
behind it. But yeah, you're right. I mean, but what we talked about, your upload speed is just as important as your equipment.
100%.
We've had that conversation. You want to get at least 100 upload if you can. That would be
Mhm.
perfect. Not everybody can do that, but that's what you really want.
Right.
And that's why if you can go fiber in your neighborhood, go fiber if possible, but not everybody can. So I
Yeah,
understand.
like the building I'm in, we can't. They signed a 4-year deal with Spectrum, with Spectrum, and the max upload's 30. And so I know, hey,
On a
I'm
good
stuck
day.
with it. On a good day. So let's see if Elon can get Starlink up. Let's see what they have, because I even went when I first moved in here and went and bought the Verizon 5G put by the window because there's a tower right over here. But that was the same thing. Verizon also has a 30 meg upload speed, so I could download like crazy. But setting it up, that and what are Zoom calls, what are joined StreamYards and podcasts and things of that nature, it hindered what I could do.
Yeah, because I have that for like my cabin. We have
Mhm.
HughesNet, which is horrible. I can't do anything on that. But there is I get 5G 2 bar in my cabin now with my phone. So I
Right.
was looking at adding the internet through that. Well, no, because they gave the other part of the tower over to Verizon, so you can't add
Ah,
that. And so I have to use my phones as a hotspot, which works, but I wanted a dedicated hotspot. So now I still have to keep the one so that you can turn the thermostat on and off,
mhm.
before we get there. Because when it's 20 degrees in your cabin, you want it to get at least 40. You
Right.
want to turn that on a little bit, or vice versa when it's hot and you want it
Mhm.
colder. So
That's my next step for where I live now, because during the summer I was gone for a lot of weeks traveling, and then I just have the old school thermometers. I'm like, why don't I just digitize them? That way I can control it when I land, make it cool. And when I'm gone, why do I care?
because you don't want everything to melt.
True,
There should be a
but
max you get to.
yeah. Well, I'm saying like you can set it to 90 degrees or whatever the hell you want, but
At 90, you're crazy. You know how long it takes to get down from 90 to what the temperature you want it at?
yeah, all you do is
Hours,
you
an
set
hour,
it up. Yeah,
hours.
you set it up before you take off on your flight.
Yeah, but research that a little bit more. They would probably tell you to keep it at like 80, not
Yeah.
90. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Let's call it a day.
Yeah, I call it a day. So just to recap, go look at your website, go look at all your social media profiles. What's the sentence that you have, and is it the best representation of you? And run it through Chat GPT, and then run it past some friends and family and say, hey, which of these do you like better? Because we're all guilty of the golden turd, which we just think what we thought of is amazing. It may not be what our ideal customer is looking for. So constantly go back and review, just like we were taught, go and Google yourself, and then go into Bing and all these other things to constantly see what's showing up. But are you updating? Yes, you're updating your headshots in LinkedIn, but are you updating your titles? Are you doing the same thing for Facebook, Instagram? So use AI to make it sound sexier is just a simple way to wrap it up.
Yeah, I totally agree. But also now once you do that, you can tell it to talk different, different ways you want the same words to come out. I use a lot myself, more make it compact to be where it's right, emphasize what the points I want to cross. I do that a lot more than any other thing. But other people do there's so many different tones you can do. And that might be a totally different take on your website also. So you might want to try different tones before you go, this is the one I want.
Right.
All right. Thanks for being here, Brian.
Yeah. Thanks for being here, Ed.
Thanks for coming up with the topic today, because this is all about your brand and who you are and how people see you. When you're not in the room, what are they talking about you, or are they talking about you?
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. All right. We appreciate you being here today. Thanks for watching. Thank you, Brian, for being here. I know you're a busy man with high level and everything you're doing. So we will talk to you again next week on Tuesday. And we don't know if we'll be here Thursday because we got a lot of stuff going on Thursday with the high
busy
level
week next week.
Huh?
I said, yep, busy week next week.
Yeah. So hopefully we'll be here. If not, maybe I'll just be here. I don't know yet. We'll know on Tuesday. All right, everybody, make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next week. Bye.